discussed few last two verses from chapter 30, wherein how a person who lived whole life in the mode of ignorance, after pitiable death, having gone to hell, having gone through hellish punishments, having taken birth in various species, then enters into the womb of a human mother. Then how the embryo develops inside that womb of a mother, and then eventually when the child comes to 7 months old, the consciousness is developed. As a result of that, one starts remembering what one was doing in the last 100 lifetimes. So various jivas, whatever they were doing in the past 100 years, they will kind of remember and they make plans to do them those activities in a better way this lifetime, etc., etc. And one among them was a devotee in the past lives. The past few lifetimes he was a devotee. So now he entered into the womb of a mother, and now that devotee jiva is offering prayers with the same thing, same planning. So I have wasted my lifetimes, previous lifetimes. So this time I will not waste. I will want to attain perfection. So with the determination, with the enthusiasm, he is going to offer prayers, taking mercy and forgiveness from the Supreme Lord. So that these are the prayers which are going to be discussed now. One fortunate devotee jiva who also entered into the womb of a mother like any other child is offering prayers, and is other jivas might make plans according to their liking, according to their previous samskaras, previous life activities, etc., etc. They also do something similar. But since we are discussing in Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam is about the devotees. So a devotee jiva is even in the womb. What does he do? And these prayers are not about a jiva in the mode of passion. He was a devotee in the past. He will become a devotee in the present also. But since he is also in the womb, so he is offering prayers. But others who are in the mode of passion, for that person, these prayers are not applicable. Because a passionate person cannot offer such kind of wonderful prayers. So like that, we have to understand. So from verse number 12 all the way up to 21, so about to 10 verses, there are prayers. So let us discuss today. Janturuvacha
Janturuvacha
सस्योपसन्नं सत्योपसन्नमवितुं जगदिच्छयात्ता
तस्योपसनम् अवितुं जगत इच्छायत
नानातनोर्भुविचलचरणारविन्दम्
नानातनुर्विभुचला च चरण अरविन्दम्
सोऽहं व्रजामि शरणं हि अकुटो भयं मे
सोऽहं व्रजामि शरणं हि अकुतो भयं मे
येनेदृशी गतिरदर्शि असतोऽनुरूपा
येने दृशि गतिरदर्शि असतो अनुरूप. Translation: The human soul says, I take shelter of the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who appears in his various eternal forms and works on the surface of the world. I take shelter of him only because he can give me relief from all fears, and from him I have received this condition of life, which is just befitting my impious activities. Hare Krishna.
Jiva in the womb is saying this prayer. Devotee Jiva. It says, I surrender to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Soham Vrajami Sharanam, which bestows fearlessness. Why? Why he has to surrender to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord? Because only that lotus feet can award us fearlessness. The Lord will move on the earth. Here, the future tense is used. The Lord will move on the earth. Bhuvi Chalat Charanara. Whose lotus feet the Jiva want to take shelter? He want to take shelter of that lotus feet of that Lord who will appear and travel on the surface of the earth. Having accepted by his will all avatars within himself to protect those of this world who approached him. Tasya upasannam. Why would Lord walk on the surface of the earth? Does he walk alone or then somebody else is accompanying him? Yes, there are so many people of this world accompanying him, but he himself is not one. He is the combination of all the unlimited avatars. Like that. And then he says that why he is walking on the surface of the earth? To protect the surrendered souls. All the avatars together traveling, appearing and walking on the surface of the earth to protect the surrendered souls. By your mercy, I being sinful have attained this condition in the womb. Now, he said the general purpose of Lord's appearance is to deliver the conditioned souls. That's why he appears in various avatars, and every avatar contains all the avatars within him. Fine. But oh, you are in the womb. Up to dekh nahi payega. Then he says that I am also one such conditioned soul in distress. Outside people are in less distress. I am inside the womb. I am in more distress. I am the more worthy candidate for for Lord's mercy. Like that, the soul is telling. Srila Sridhar Swami says, the walking the earth is in reference to Lord Krishna's appearance on earth. Lord Krishna accepts many forms. Atma, Nana, Tanu. Since all forms are included within him. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, Lord Krishna says in exception of Lord Krishna's appearance in future. Okay. Accepting to Srila Jiva Goswami, according to Srila Jiva Goswami, Lord Kapila says this in exception of Lord Krishna's, in expectation of Lord Krishna's appearance in the future. So basically, it said that Lord will walk on the surface of the earth. So which Lord? Lord Krishna. So in advance only Lord Kapila is predicting the appearance of Lord Krishna. Since I am impure, this condition of living in an ocean of suffering in the womb has been shown to defeating. So here it says that since I am impure, this condition of living in an ocean of suffering in the womb has been shown to be fitting for me. Because I cannot blame anybody because I was sinful in the previous life. That's why I put into this miserable condition. But whatever it is, Adrishi can also means I have not become the object of your glance of mercy yet. You do not appear in front of me because I am sinful. So he's saying that you appeared on the surface of the earth and you are giving mercy to everyone, but I am not getting your mercy. Is it because I am too sinful not to be seen by you? So like that, he is asking for Lord's mercy simultaneously. He is not. I mean, he is actually saying that, my dear Lord, you are not showing mercy upon me because I am too sinful not to see. I am not qualified to see you. Something like that. So this kind of prayers cannot be offered by ordinary living entity. He must be a great saint, again, or great devotee. So you are able to follow? Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Okay, okay. So we'll continue the second verse. So like this, slowly it develops. Initial verses he says that you need to bless me, you need to take care of me, you need to take me out of this womb. And finally he says that my dear Lord, that is fine. But जब तक मैं गर्भ के अंदर हूँ, आपके बारे में याद करूंगा. बाहर आएंगे तो माया मुझे पकड़ लेंगे. Better keep me here only. Like that he will say. So that's how we have to understand. Like Sukadeva Goswami said, na, I don't want to come out of the mother's womb. Even 30 years have passed, but still the child is not coming out because he says, as soon as I come out, Maya will capture me. I don't want to come out. So like that. So this is the nature of a devotee. यस्वत्र बद्धैव कर्मभिरावृतात्मा Someone repeat after me.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes, yastaiva atra bada iva kambira at avartatma
भूतेन्द्रियाशयमयीम् अवलभ्य मायाम्
भूतेन्द्रिया savamyam avalambya mayam
आस्ते विशुद्धवमविकारमखण्डबोधम्
aste visudam avikaram akhandabodham
आतप्यमानहृदये वसितं नमामि
atapyamana vasitam namami. Translation. The pure soul appearing now, bound by activities, I'm lying in the womb of my mother. By the arrangement of Maya, I offer my respectful obeisances unto him, who is also here with me, but who is unaffected and challengeless. He is unlimited, but he is perceived in the repentant, repentant heart. To him I offer my respectful obeisances. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I offer respects to he who appears to be a soul covered by a material body, bound by karmas, taking support of his material energy, consisting of material elements, senses, mind, but who remains pure and unchanging, with undestructible knowledge, Akanda Bodham, and who is perceived by me in my distressed heart. He is telling that just the way I am appearing in this world, Lord does not appear like that. Even though apparently he may be look like any other ordinary person, like Lord Rama, especially not Lord Krishna, but Lord Rama, if you take, he behaved like any ordinary, any other normal human being. So like that, one may think that Rama is not Lord, is a human being only, but not like that. He becomes expert to act like that. So like that. Same way, the electricals gone to same way. Basically, he is telling about the distinction between the Lord and himself. He is bound by karma. He will be bound by Maya, but Lord is not bound by karma or Maya. Though he apparently appears to be like any other ordinary conditioned soul, but he is not. So in that way. Remembers with astonishment the merciful, amazing pastimes of the Supreme Lord. He exists within every suffering of body as we do not know if he does this to protect us or to perform his own pastimes. I offer respects to him. We do not know if he does this to protect us or to perform his own pastimes. I offer respects to him. So it is fitting that I am here in the womb, bound by karma, experiencing the results of my sinful activities. But why does the Supreme Lord stay at the Antaryami in this stinking hell? So he said that Paramatma is there along with Jivatma. So I am here in the womb, which is a filthy place, surrounded by all the food items and all. So, but why the Paramatma is there along with Jivatma? It is fitting that I am here in the womb, bound by karma, experiencing the results of my sinful acts. By the results of karma, so like that. He utilized his own Maya, composed of material elements, senses, and mind. But he is pure and without change, because he has knowledge which cannot be destroyed by Maya like my knowledge. How can this be understood by you? Somebody questions that. You are inside the womb. How do you know all these things? It is perceived in my distressed heart. Artho jignasur artharthi jnanicha bhartarshava. Chaturvida bhajante mam. Jana Sukritin Arjuna. The jiva thinks, how can knowledge given by him, the antarya given by the antaryami, even to person like me be destroyed? So out of humility, this devotee is saying that, so even though I don't have knowledge about all other things, what a difference. So then, if he is like this, how can he stay in this body? If the Lord is full of knowledge and is nothing to do with the time and karma, all these three modes and all, but why does he stay in the body along with Jivatma? Body means in the womb, in the body of the new Jiva, which is in the womb of the mother. Why does Paramatma also accompanying the Jivatma? That will be mentioned by our Jiva now in the next verse. यः पञ्चभूतरचिते रहितः शरीरे
यः पञ्चभूतरचिते रहितः शरीरे
षण्णो यतेन्द्रियगुणार्थचिदात्मकोऽयम्
चन्नो यतेन्द्रियगुणार्थचिदात्मकोऽहम्
तेनाविकुण्ठमहिमानं ऋषिं तमेनम्
तेनाविकुण्ठमहिमानं ऋषिं तमेनम्
वन्दे परं प्रकृतिपुरुषयोर्पुमांशम्
वन्दे परं प्रकृतिपुरुषयो पुमांसम्. Translation: I am separated from the Supreme Lord because of my being in this material body, which is made of 5 elements, and therefore my qualities and senses are being misused, although I am essentially spiritual. Because, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental to the material nature and the living entities, because he is devoid of such a material body, and because he is always glorious in his spiritual qualities, I offer my obeisances unto him. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, here the Jiva is telling, covered by this body, made up of 5 elements, Pancha Mahabhutas, remaining as a spiritual particle, amidst the senses, gunas, and sense objects, I offer respects to omniscient Lord Krishna, Rushim Tamenam Pumamsham, who is superior to Prakriti and Mahavishnu, Prakriti Purushayo Param, whose powers are not weakened by these material elements. So, the Supreme Lord as Mahavishnu is outside, the Supreme Lord as Garbhodaksha Vishnu is inside the universe, the Supreme Lord as Kshirodaksha Vishnu is inside the heart of each and every living entity. Just by entering into the heart of a living entity which is made up of Panchamahabhutas, senses, and other things, the Lord is never contaminated. Lord remains always Lord only. There is no contamination touches the Supreme Lord. In spite of staying inside the heart of a living entity who is inside the womb of a mother, the Lord remains pure. That is being indicated in this verse. I, as Atma, dwelling among the senses, material gunas, and sense objects, though covered by a body, remain situated separately from them. Even I myself, a Jivatma, though living inside the material body, I am separate from the material body. Then what to speak of the Supreme Lord? How can you people say that when Lord appears here, he becomes conditioned? When Jiva is not touched by the material elements in that sense. I offer respects to the Lord, whose greatness is not at all weakened by these things, staying in the body as the super soul. So in spite of staying in the body as super soul, Lord does not degrade. So like that. According to Baguri, the meaning is his powers are not covered. I offer respects to Lord Krishna, who is superior to Prakriti and to the seer of Prakriti, the Purusha Avatara, Mahavishnu. Therefore, I'll offer obeisance to the Supreme Personality of Lord Sri Krishna, who is the master of both Prakriti and Mahavishnu. So basically, in spite of being bound by my karma, I'm being surrounded by material body, I remain spirit soul. Then how come the Lord becomes materialistic or material? The Lord is nowhere, no time, material. Like that, the jiva is expressing his jnana, his understanding of the Lord's position. So like that. He must be a thorough devotee in the previous life. That's why he's able to offer this such kind of prayers now. Next prayer is says, Yenmayayoru gunakarma nibandanesmin
यन्माययोन् गुणकर्म निबन्धनेऽस्मिन्
samsarike paticharam stadabhishramena
संसारिके पतिचरंस्तदभिश्रमेण
नष्टस्मृति पुनरयं प्रवृणीत लोकम्
नष्टस्मृति पुनरयं प्रवर्णीतलोकम्
युक्ता कया महदनुग्रहमन्तरेण
युक्ता कया महत् अनुग्रहं मन्तरेण. The human soul further prays. The living entity is put under the influence of material nature and continues a hard struggle for existence on the path of repeated birth and death. This conditional life is due to his forgetfulness of his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, without the Lord's mercy, how can he again engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord?
A person repeatedly loses his memory because of fatigue as he treads the path of birth and death, bound by the Lord's powerful karma produced from the gunas. How can he choose the abode of the Lord without the mercy of the devotees? He's telling that, my Lord, somehow by good fortune, now when I'm in the womb, I'm able to remember you. But by the influence of Maya, when we come out of the womb, we forget. That forgetful is happening from life after life. Who will help me to remember you afterwards, after I take birth? That is Guru or the devotee. Mahad Anugraham Antarena. Only by the mercy of the great souls will be reminded that you are a devotee of the Supreme Lord. So like that. So like that he is telling. How did you attain this bhakti? The cause of attaining this bhakti is the mercy of great souls. By what other means can a person like me, who has lost remembrance of the Lord because of fatigue in traveling on the path of samsara, can choose Lord's abode without the mercy of some great devotee? There is no other means except the mercy of the great devotee. Basically, telling that I've entered into the womb of a mother, matlab I've forgotten the Lord. And even if I so-called memory is there with me right now, but as soon as I take birth, again I'll forget. Only a great devotee will help me remember the Lord. So in that way, my worship of Lord Krishna has appeared by the mercy of some Krishna devotee guru I had in my previous life. Now I am able to remember Krishna because I did some bhakti in the previous life. I did some bhakti there because some devotee came in my life. I owe to that devotee, because of whom even now I am able to remember the Supreme Lord in spite of being in the womb. एतावनेव यजताम इह निश्रेयसोदया Bhagavati Achulo Bhava Yad Bhagavat Sangata. This is from second canto, third chapter. Auspiciousness arises for the worshippers of the Devatas if firm devotion for the Lord arises from association with the devotees. So this verse says that. So in the second canto, third chapter, from the beginning till the 10th verse, there is a discussion about Devata worshippers. So for fulfilling their desire, they are worshipping Devatas. But how bhakti will come in their heart? When they come in the association of devotees, they start bhakti. because they are already habituated to worship the devatas. But when the devotee say that no, no, you should also worship Lord Vishnu, then immediately they adopt the Vishnu worship. It will not take much time. So in that way, it is by the mercy of the pure devotees, people in general get inclination to serve the Supreme Lord. Like that. That is the mercy of a great devotee who comes in our life as our Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru, whatever. So in that way, we should be grateful to them. Then he further continues. Jnanam yate dadadat katamas devas.
Hare Krishna. Jnanam yatedat avadat katam sadeva.
त्रैकालिकं स्थिरचरेषु अनुवर्तितांशः
Traikalam stira karaves anuvartita amshah.
तं जीवकर्मपदवीम् अनुवर्तमानास्
तमजीव कर्म पदवीम अनुवर्तमाना
तापत्रयोपशमनाय वयं भजेम
तापत्रयोपशमनये वयं भजेम. Translation. No one other than the Supreme Personality of God, as localized Paramatma, the partial representation of the Lord, is directing all inanimate and animate objects. He is present in the three phases of time, past, present, and future. Therefore, the conditioned soul is engaged in different activities by his direction, and in order to get free from the threefold miseries of this conditioned life, we have to surrender unto him only. Hare Krishna.
Mm. So whatever little knowledge I have, I am able to remember it even in the womb. This is all mercy of Paramatma. Sarvasya chaha mudisannivishto matta smritirjnanam apohanam cha. So in that way. Who else other than the expansion of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna residing in all living entities through all phases of time, Traikalikam in the past, in the present, and the future, can give knowledge? We, treading the path of karmas for the jiva, should worship the Lord in order to destroy the three miseries. So it is the Paramatma who is giving us this memory. It is by worshipping the source of that Paramatma, the Supreme Lord, will become freed from the universe consisting of three tapas, tapatraya, or three gunas, goodness, passion, ignorance. In that way. With what proof do you worship the Supreme Lord? By inference, we can understand his presence in the core of the heart. Which Devata offers knowledge to a fool like me, who tread the path of karmas of the jiva, karma padavidem, who will enable me to remember my 100 lifetimes. Which Devata? Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Surya, Ganesha, Devi? No. It is the Paramatma who enabled me to do all this. Enabled me to understand all these things. How can I give him up? Among the Devatas, one should be chief. Only he, the Supreme Lord, must be inferred as there is no other reason for my knowledge. He is Amsha known as Antaryami, the Paramatma, dwells in the hearts of all beings in the past, present, and future. So, like that. Basically says that it is by the mercy of Paramatma I am able to remember whatever I am speaking now. So how can I give up his worship? Like that is saying. Oh Lord, my happiness and distress and attaining your lotus feet are all dependent on your mercy. What can I ask for since I am childish and young? Then he speaks to the Supreme Lord. Dehanya deha vivare jataragni nasrug.
Dehi anya deha vivare jatarangin ninasrag.
Vinmutrakoopapatito Vrushataptadeha
Vinmutra kupapatito brishatapta deha.
Ichannito Vivasitum Ganayan Swamasan.
Ichan ito vivasitum gadayan svamasan.
Nirvasyate Kripanadhir Kadanu.
Nirvasyate kripanadit bhagavan kadanu. Fallen into a pool of blood, stool, and urine within the abdomen of his mother. His own body is caused by the mother's gastric fire. The embodied soul, anxious to get out, counts his months and prays, "O my Lord, when shall I, a wretched soul, be released from this confinement?"
The foolish jiva, situated in the body, within the body of his own mother. And jiva itself is in the body, and that body is in the womb of the mother. His body suffering greatly, trapped in the hole filled with stool, urine, blood, and digestive fire, desiring to get out, counts the months. Oh Lord, when will I get out of this place? So right now in this current shloka, he says that, please take me out of this current miserable place. Same way Gajendra also prayed. After fighting with crocodile for thousands of years, Gajendra initially offering prayer that please take me out of this miserable condition. Then after some deliberation, he says that, so what is the point in delivering me from this crocodile? Right now, crocodile is troubling me. Some other time, some other animal will trouble me. Something else like that. As long as I am in this material world, something or the other will caught hold of me, and continuously they trouble me. My answer should be, oh Lord, please deliver me from this samsara altogether. Not only some immediate solution, but please give me the permanent solution. This is the inquiry of Jiva and Gajendra. Like that. I situated in this body. I am situated within another body, that of my mother, desiring to be free from this, counting my months. This is the 8th month, this is the 9th month, this is the 10th month. Like that, Jiva was eager to come out of that miserable place, the womb of the mother, so that he can become free from being bent like a bow in the womb. In that way, I have no intelligence. I am Krupana. Since my happiness and distress have been given by my fate, caused by my karma, when will I get out of this place? Here, one meaning is, when will I get out of this womb of my mother? Second is, when will I get up from the womb of this material nature, Prakriti? So, like that. So, this is the inquiry all of us should be making always. So whenever we go in front of the deities, we should be asking this prayer, my dear Lord, when will I be getting out of this miserable mental existence? That should be our prayer. Deepak Sahu Prabhuji, please mute कर दो, some आवाज आ रहा है. Because the difficulties cannot be tolerated within the womb, I will surely worship you outside without fail this time, in this lifetime, and attain liberation. So Jiva is saying that, my dear Lord, you go and matlab, even though I have misused my previous life, but this time I am determined to practice bhakti seriously. Even though you wash, even though I go through trouble sometimes, but make sure these are final.
Prabhuji, we are not able to hear you.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Now we'll continue with the next shloka. Any questions till now? Hare Krishna? You are able to follow, all of you? Yes, Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी, ये जो जीवा है दैवी जीव भी प्रार्थना कर सकते हैं ना, जो और जो पापी जीव है जो भूमि में आते हैं, व्हाट दे आर, उनका भी प्रेयर यही होगा या फिर?
नहीं, this is the womb only, but this is the devotee jiva who was a devotee in his previous lifetimes.
But
Because he
those
did
who are
lot of
not
bhakti.
devotee, they are not praying.
They are only praying. Only devotee jiva is praying like this.
No, but जो devotee जीव नहीं है वो क्या करते हैं?
वो बोलेंगे अभी, हाँ अभी लास्ट टाइम आई डिड नॉट डू दैट एक्टिविटी वेल, ये मिस्टेक हो गया, वो गलती हो गया, इस बार गलती नहीं करूंगा, इस बार अच्छा करूंगा. वॉट एवर दे डिड इन द प्रीवियस लाइफ, they plan to do expertly in this lifetime. That's what they do. They may not offer prayers to Lord. If they worship the Lord in some way, if they worship some devatas in the previous life, and they will worship that devata, Ganesh, Shiva, Durga, they say that, my dear Lord, last time आपने अच्छा blessing दिया नहीं, at least this time you should give me अच्छा blessing, something like that.
Okay.
Because whatever one does in entire life, that is what we remember at the time of death, and whatever we have done in the previous lifetimes, that is what we remember when we are in the womb. So accordingly only our inclination develops.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Correct. So the jiva continuing further, last 4-5 verses. At least in the current verse, he was saying that, please take me out of this miserable condition. He's praying like that. But next we'll see what else he pray. Yene drushim gatimasau dashamasya isha.
येने दृशं गतिमशौ दशमाष्ट्य ईशा
Sangrahita purudayena bhavadrushena.
सङ्ग्राहिता पुरुदयेन भवादृशेन
स्वेनैव तुष्यति कृतेन सदीननाथा.
स्वेनैव तुष्यतु कृतेन सदिननस्तः
को नाम तत्प्रतिविनाञ्जलिमस्य कुर्यात्.
को नाम तत्प्रति विनाञ्जलिम् अस्य कुर्यात्. My dear Lord, by your causeless mercy, I am awakened to consciousness, although I am only 10 months old. For this causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the friend of all fallen souls, there is no way to express my gratitude but to pray with folded hands.
O Lord, I have received the rare blessing of being a devotee in the womb for 10 months. Now he is actually expressing his gratitude. My dear Lord, somehow I don't know, because of some devotee's intervention in my previous lives, I became devotee. I practiced some bhakti, and by your mercy, now also I am able to practice bhakti in spite of being in the womb. Thank you very much. By you alone, no one else, this is possible. You, the savior of those suffering, should be satisfied with your own actions. Who can repay your mercy except by folding one's hands in thanks? So Jiva is saying this, my dear Lord, by expanding yourself as Paramatma, you are constantly traveling with a Jiva life after life, life after life, life after life, enabling them, reminding them what they like, what they don't like, what they were doing in the past, what they want to do in the present. You are doing a tremendous task tirelessly. And especially in my case, I don't know what kind of devotee I was, but in my womb, by reminding me that I was a devotee, you made me a devotee. I can never ever repay you what you have done for me. This is the sincere expressions of gratitude. Whenever we go to temple, we should offer these prayers. The previous prayer and this prayer should be offered in front of the deity. We should express our gratitude. We should pray for our freedom from this material existence, etc., etc. I, situated in this womb for 10 months, have received the situation of being your devotee, rare even for devatas. By mercy which can come from no one except you, Such a nature is impossible for me to attain even if a lifetime of Brahma. May you be satisfied with your actions. That means he says that, my dear Lord, it is you who have sent me a devotee in my life. And you made me a devotee in my previous lives. And it is you now again you are reminding me that I was a devotee in the past. I should become a serious devotee in this lifetime. And even in my 9 months or 10 months in the womb did not go waste. Here also I am practicing some bhakti. All this is because of you. If I have to do it myself, even if I was given a lifetime of Brahma, I will not do. Like that is saying. May you be satisfied by your actions. Who can compensate for the mercy? I can only fold my hands. Thinking of the Lord's great mercy gives more detail. So like that. My dear Lord, whatever you are doing, no one can pay for it. Not only the jiva in the womb, all of us also cannot do. Because it is the Lord who is maintaining the universe. As a result of that, we are doing all those things we are doing. If the universe is not maintained properly, how can we do whatever our studies, whatever our jobs, our work, our family, all these things we cannot do if Lord is not maintaining. If Bhumandala does not stay stable, if Bhumandala is always moving up and down, there is always earthquakes. What kind of lifestyle we should lead? So something, one simple example I added. So like that. Then he further speaks, further expression of greatness of the Supreme Lord. पश्यत्ययं दिशनया ननु सप्तवर्धिवद्रिः
पश्यति अयं दिशनया मनुसप्तवाद्रिः
शारीरकेदमशरीरि अपरास्वदेहे
शारीरके दमशारीरि अपरास्वदेहे
यस्सृष्टयासं तम् अहं पुरुषं पुराणम्
यत्सृष्टयासं तम् अहं पुरुषं पुराणम्
पश्ये बहिर्हृदि च दैत्यम् इव प्रतीतम्
पश्ये बहिर्हृदि च चैतम् इव प्रतीतम्. 19, no?
Yes.
The living entity in another type of body sees only by instinct. He knows only the agreeable and disagreeable sense perception of that particular body. But I have a body in which I can control my senses, can understand my destination. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whom I have been blessed with this body, and by whose grace I can see him within and without.
Some jnani in control of his senses, surrounded by the 7 dhatus, sees with his intelligence the happiness and distress caused by his body. But I see the Supreme Lord who has given that intelligence, perceived externally and internally, who is the controller of Chitta. So he is expressing his gratitude for the Supreme Lord. Having attained the human form, the jiva, surrounded by the body of 7 dhatus, sees with intelligence the bodily situation of happiness and distress. This means that some fortunate soul situated in his body becomes a jnani, dhamma shariri. That means, just like a devotee is contemplating upon the Supreme Lord, a jnani contemplates upon Atma, one being Atma, and Atma is different from the body. So, in that way. But I, though most sinful, see by intelligence given by the Lord, the Supreme Lord, the presiding deity of Chitta, or the Lord to be served by Chitta, Vasudeva, who is obtained externally at the deity and in the heart by realization. It has already been shown in verse 11 that different jivas, karmi, jnani, yogi, and a devotee experiences differences differently at this time, based on what they were doing in their previous 100 lifetimes. So then Lord is asking, oh, so itna prayer, itna bol rahe aap? You chose me by bhakti, but you are agitated by suffering because you requested to get out. Now will I protect? Now I will take you out of the womb. So like that. So you chose my bhakti, but you are agitated by suffering because you requested to get out. Now I will take you out of the womb. The Lord is saying that आपने बोला था मुझे इधर से लेके जाओ. So get out. चलो हम लेके जाते हैं आपको बाहर. Like that Paramatma says. Before Paramatma could say anything like that, he offers this prayer. We'll continue. सोऽहं वशनपि विभो बहुदुःखवासम्
सोऽहं वसन् अपि विभो बहुदुःखवासम्
गर्भान्न निर्जिगमिषे बहिरन्धकूपे
गर्भान् निर्जिङ्गमिषे बहिरन्धकूपे
यत्रोपयातमुपसर्पति देवमाया
यत्रोपयातमुपसर्पति देवमाया
मिथ्यामतिर्यदनुस्मृतिचक्रमेतत्
मिथ्यामतिर्यदनुसंसृतिचक्रम् एतत्. Therefore, my Lord, although I am living in a terrible condition, I do not wish to depart from my mother's abdomen to fall again into the blind well of materialistic life. Your external energy, called Deva Maya, at once captures the newly born child and immediately false identification, which is the beginning of the cycle of continued birth and death, begins.
This is same as the prayer of Sukadeva Goswami, who said, I will not come out of the womb of my mother. If I come out, Maya will capture me. Something like that. Oh Lord, though living in a place of suffering, I do not wish to go out of the womb to the blind well where the Lord's Maya pervades all those who have gone there and give them a false identity and continual birth. As soon as we come out of the womb, our parents and family members call Chinni, Munni, Bunny, Puji, and then eventually we have so many other identities. School kid, nursery, UKG, LKG, first class, second class, third class, fifth class, eighth class, 10th class, inter first year, inter second year, undergraduation, post graduation, job. So all these upadhis will come to us like that. Though living in one place, in the place of suffering, I do not wish to go out of the womb to the blind well where the Lord's Maya pervades all those who have gone there and give them a false entity and continual birth. No, don't do that. When Lord said that I will take you out, Jiva is saying, no, don't do that. I don't want to get into a condition of suffering in the outside world. In that place, the Lord's Maya pervades all beings who have gone outside the womb. By her, by Maya, the false conception of I am the body and repeated birth takes place. अभी तक बहुत हो गया, enough is enough. Now please don't give me that kind of forgetfulness. Somehow I am remembering you. Keep me in the womb only. So like this. This is what happens. As long as the jiva inside the womb, he is remembering himself as a devotee. As soon as he come out of the body, identifies with the body. I am male, I am female, I am this, I am that. So many things will start. This is the last prayer of the jiva in the womb. So what have you decided? Finally, what is your decision? Just now you told, please take me out of the womb. Again you are telling that don't take me out of the womb. क्या करने का आपको क्या चाहिए? Finally, this is the last word spoken by the jiva. तस्मादहमि विगत विप्लवमुद्धरिष्य
तस्मादहं विगतविप्लवमुत्तरिष्ट
आत्मानमासु तमसा सुहृदात्मनैव
आत्मानमासु तमसा सुहृदात्मनैव
भूयो यथा व्यसनमेतदनेकरन्ध्रम्
भूयो यथा व्यसनमपेतदनेकरन्ध्रम्
मामे भविष्यदुपसादितविष्णुपादा
मामे भविष्यदुपस्यादितविष्णुपादा. Therefore, without being agitated anymore, I shall deliver myself from the darkness of nuisance with the help of my friend. Clear consciousness. Simply by keeping the lotus feet of the Lord Vishnu in my mind, I shall be saved from entering into the wombs of many mothers for repeated birth and death.
So then now Jiva is telling that, so my dear Lord, please forgive me. Though I asked you to deliver me, but that is too much from me. You have already done so many things for which I cannot repay you, and still I am asking you, what is this? So please forgive me. At least give me one chance. This lifetime, I will practice bhakti with sincerity, and I'll come back to Godhead. Please give me this one chance. Something like that. Therefore, having destroyed suffering here, I will deliver myself quickly from samsara by my friend, the intelligence, Suhradatma Eva, given by you, so that I, having surrendered to your lotus feet, will not again have the misfortune of a material body. With the help of my good intelligence and my consciousness and other things, this lifetime I will work very hard to practice bhakti seriously and come back to Godhead and not to take birth anymore in this material world. Give me this one option. So like that the jiva finally requesting. Even in the womb, I have given up suffering. I will deliver myself from samsara by my friend, the consciousness, Chaityam or Buddhi, the chariot driver which has been given by you, so that I will not in the future have the misfortune of again having a body of man-made, Anekarandram. Fourth canto, we study this. Where will you get the ingredients for this practice? I have taken shelter of my Lord's lotus feet. With remembering and chanting, He will provide. I have taken shelter of Lord's lotus feet to do Shavanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. And whatever is required to do all these bhakti activities, He will provide. Because everything belongs to Him only. I want to serve Him only. Then He has to provide the ingredients for His service. So like that. Because I am not want to use for myself. I want to serve Him only. So then everything belongs to Him. He should give me. Something like that is asking. Deciding in this way that he will worship the Lord in this very lifetime, praising the Supreme Lord in the womb, becomes wise, becomes Rishi. He will not come into this world once again and again suffering samsara. That means basically such kind of a devotee jiva who is continuously praying to the Supreme Lord while in the womb, even though he comes out of the womb, he will not forget bhakti. Such a jiva, even from the very childhood, continue to show the bhakti symptoms and practice bhakti because he had made a sankalpa. This lifetime, my dear Lord, I don't want to ask you so much. I will practice bhakti seriously, sincerely, and the ingredients given by you, I will only serve you, not for my sense gratification. And I'll come back home back to Godhead. Such a determined jiva, in spite of taking birth, will not forget one's desire to practice bhakti, but practices bhakti from the very childhood. That is the understanding. This is for a devotee jiva. Then what happens to a non-devotee jiva who enters the womb, who goes through all the troubles in the womb while growing through first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth months? And then at 9th or 10th month, what will happen to them? That will be mentioned in the rest of the chapter. So these are the prayers. Any questions till now? Devotees?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
प्रभु जी अभी डिवोटी जीवा अगर कोई मेंटली डिसेबल्ड है उनके घर के अंदर भी ऐसी सेम स्थिति होती है प्रभु?
See,
जैसे
he may be mentally disabled, he may be physically disabled, but consciously is not disabled. Na? His consciousness is still there. He'll continue to practice bhakti in his consciousness. He'll be doing smaranam. He may not be able to do kirtanam, shravanam, padasevanam, archanam, vandanam, dasyam, etc. But he can do smaranam within the core of his heart, within one's own consciousness. If you are devoted in the previous life, and in this life you will be doing only smaranam, and then no material activities, no
Yes.
material karma. Other devotees?
Okay.
Okay, if there are no questions, we'll continue. Lord Kapila will continue to speak about the so-called passionate living entity who was growing up in the womb of the mother in the mode of passion. Kapila Uvacha. Quick.
Kapila Uvacha.
Vacha.
Evam Kritamatirgarbhe
Evam Kritamadirgarbhe
Tasmasya Suvan Rishi
the Samasya Stuvan Rishi
Sadyakshipati Avichinam Avachinam
Sadyakshipati Avachinam
Prasuyati Suti Marutaha.
Prasyutyai Stuti Marutaha. Lord Kapila continued, the 10-month-old living entity has these desires even while in the womb. But while he thus extols the Lord, the wind that helps parturition propels him forth with his face turned downward so that he may be born.
Deciding in this way in the womb, at 10 months, the wise jiva praises the Lord. However, in the case of foolish jiva, the air causing childbirth suddenly moves the child, eager to enter the world in order for it to take birth. That means the devotee jiva continues to pray the Supreme Lord while in the womb till 10th month. But other jiva, the passionate jiva who was eager to take birth, is pushed by the Sutivata and takes birth. The air causing birth quickly moves the body about to enter samsara in order for birth to take place during the 10th month. It is understood from this that he who is wise, he who is a devotee, comes out of the womb without the movement of the birth air. Or it can mean the wise jiva having determination praises the Lord, but the birth air pushes him out. But whatever it is, the materialistic jiva has a birth of painful birth. But devotee jiva will have a birth, but not with so much pain. That's how we have to understand. Penavasrishta sahasa, penavasrishta sahasa,
तेनावसृष्ट सहसा
krutva vakshira aturaha,
कृत्वा वाक्सुर आतुरः
निष्क्रामते कृच्छ्रेण,
निष्क्रामते कृच्छ्रेण
निरुश्वासो हतस्मृतिः.
निश्वासो हतस्मृतिः. Pushed downward all the sudden by the wind, the child comes out with great trouble, head downward, breathless, and deprived of memory due to severe agony.
Pushed strongly by the birth air, with head down, in pain, he emerges with difficulty without breathing and without memory of his previous births. As soon as Jiva comes out of the womb, forgets whatever he was remembering from seventh month onwards in the womb about his once past 100 lifetimes. Everything is forgotten. Atasmriti means that he cannot remember his previous births, that he had previously died and been born, which he had remembered in the womb. So whatever 100 births he was remembering in the womb, that is all completely forgotten as soon as one takes birth. So like that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Ah, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, it is okay that we forgot about our previous births, but how can we forget our vows and prayers? क्योंकि वो मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, क्योंकि हमको अभी भी याद नहीं है कि हमने क्या प्रे किया है, क्या प्रतिज्ञा लिया है भगवान के सामने.
ओके.
वो कैसे मतलब ठीक है, प्रीवियस वक्त का तो हम बोल रहे हैं, बट ये इतना सिंसियरली हमने जो भगवान के सामने प्रतिज्ञा लिया है वो भी भूल गए और हर बार बोल रहे हैं हम तो.
Now the question is whether we have prayed or not, we don't know. हमने ऐसा प्रे किया कि हमने उतना शुद्ध भक्त है क्या? अभी जो प्रेयर्स का मीनिंग समझना ही बहुत कठिन है हमारे लिए अभी. तो हमने प्रे किया क्या ऐसा प्रेयर? उसका मतलब ये नहीं. We also might have practiced some bhakti in the past, and according to our little bhakti, we might have offered some prayers, but not the way the prayers are presented here in this Bhagavatam text. So, for example, I'll tell you simple what kind of prayers we might have done in the womb is like what kind of prayers we do now when we go to temple in front of the deity. That is our level of consciousness. When we go in front of the deity, do we offer such kind of philosophical prayers to the Lord? Not repeating some memorized shlokas. Not like that. Self-composed poetry or prose or whatever, that I am talking about. अपने आप का मन से whatever prayers today when we go in front of the deity, not consciously but unconsciously अपने आप जिस प्रकार का prayer और प्रार्थना आते हैं उस प्रकार का प्रार्थना हम किया होगा घर में रहते समय.
एग्जैक्टली सर, एग्जैक्टली प्रभु, वो जैसे हमारे स्वभाव के अनुसार.
हाँ. Currently we are forcing ourselves to become devotees. We are not devotees yet. हमको हम डिवोटी बना नहीं, हमको डिवोटी बनने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं हम. तो अभी I mean sorry to say like this, but just understand like that. Because this lifetime we have tried to become devotee to some extent, so we have not completely perfected. So next, when we enter into the womb of the mother, whatever we have learned in this entire life, we offer in terms of prayers when we are in the womb. So like that we have to understand. That means whatever we have learned in the previous life, The essence of that we might have offered when we were in the womb. So, like that, we should understand.
Thank you.
And from that point of view, we have not forgotten whatever we have prayed in the womb, we are praying even now also. जब भगवान के सामने तो वही प्रे कर रहे हैं हम, मतलब इसका मतलब हमने भूल गया नहीं, but ये we did not remember is just like whatever prayers we have done last Sunday, do we remember to this Sunday? We have done prayed something and अब हो गया बस, उतना याद नहीं रखते हम हर एक चीज. Do we?
Yeah, yes, Guruji. Yes, definitely.
हाँ. So like that we should understand. Don't worry about forgetfulness. वो होता है. Okay. I don't know. This is my little
Thank you, sir.
understanding. We'll continue. पतितो भुवि अश्रुन्मिश्रा
Patito bhuvi asranmishra
विष्टा भूरिव चेष्टते
vishta bhu iva chestate
प्रोरूयति गते ज्ञाने
roruyati gate jnani
विपरीतां गतिं गता.
viparitam gatim gatah. The child thus falls on the ground, smeared with stool and blood, and placed just like a worm germinated from the stool. He loses his superior knowledge and cries under the spell of mind.
Falling on the ground, smeared with blood, he moves around like a worm and cries loudly. Having lost knowledge of his previous existence, he enters into ignorance. His knowledge of previous existence is gone and becomes forgetful of that state. Even the devotee jiva's knowledge is generally covered from childhood because of the nature of things. By a little association, he has his previous impressions aroused and attains the Lord by bhakti. So, even a devotee jiva, even though we might have remembered the Lord in the womb, but when we take birth, we may forget. But eventually, if our parents or family members are devotees, they will inspire us too. So they will provide all the bhakti articles in front of us, so we will get remembered. So, okay, I was a devotee in my previous life, I should continue. We have natural affinity towards bhakti activities. Otherwise, even if our family members are not devotees, we have been grown up in a normal environment. But when a right time, when we come into a right temple, then we suddenly remember, oh, ये मेरा है, ये मेरा है. मतलब we show up our inclination to bhakti articles without any prior knowledge. That is the indicator of we being the devotee in the previous life. So like that, it happens automatically one day. Parachandam na vidusha
Parachandam na vishuddha
pushyamano janena tha
Prishyamano janena saha
anabhipretamaapanna
anabhipretamapannah
pratyakuyatu man anishvaraha.
pratyat pratyakyatum anishwarah. After coming out of the abdomen, the child is given to the care of persons who are unable to understand what he wants, and thus he is nursed by such persons. Unable to refuse whatever is given to him, he falls into undesirable circumstances.
Nourished by those who do not understand his desires and unable to protest, he falls into an undesirable condition. So basically, he has taken birth, he has forgotten his past, and he is there, is crying, and those who are taking care of him unable to understand his requirements, and they try to take care of him in a different way, and he expects something else. There is a mismatch, and he continuously experiences misery after misery. Crying because he wants milk. In mother and other think that he has stomach pain and feeds him Nima juice, the medicine. When he has stomach ache, they think he is hungry and they feed milk, unable to refuse the cries. He can't tell what he wants. So like that. Hare Krishna, devotees are able to hear me?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
So this is what happens to a jiva in the womb. Okay. I think today we'll stop here. थोड़ा सा अलग ही लग रहा था. So because of the less sleep, I'm not able to focus. We'll continue in the next week from verse number 27 onwards, 26 onwards. Okay, Hare Krishna. If
Hare-
devotees have any questions, we'll
okay.
take a couple of questions now, based on what we have discussed till now.
Yes, Prabhuji, I have one question.
Ah.
Prabhuji, in this Bhagavad Gita also, we have seen this that this jiva has burned this from that rain, and then come through this ground, and then from grain they enter in the human semen. So that there is a chances that that grain will be eaten by this mother also, matlab, then ladies also. So is this also this will be guarded by this demigod, so that the whatever jiva, the grain is eating, that is go to the male being.
Yes, that's what we said in the first verse. Karanana daiva netrena jantu dehopatye pravishya udaram striya purusha reta kanashriya. Everything will be done under the supervision of the devatas, based on one's karma, enters into the body of a particular father, and then taking shelter of the semen, enters into the womb of a mother.
This is very precise science.
That's what karma is so precise. We may escape the state laws. Somebody may do criminal activities and does not get caught by the policeman. One can cheat others and lead a bindas life. But the karma that is overseen by Yamaraja, he cannot avoid that. After death, this person will be taken to Yamaraj. He will be given sufficient punishment for that. One cannot miss. The
Okay.
local government punishment we can miss, but not the universal government.
Yes.
That's how karma works. So precise.
Thank you.
Any other devotees, any question?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Yes,
हरे
Mataji.
कृष्ण प्रभु जी. हम लोग कर्म देखो, those we are trying to be devotee, but we are doing karma. Sometimes हम बोलते अकर्म करना, but it is very difficult to do अकर्मा until we are not ब्रह्म भूत stage. तो तब तक हमको हम कितना भी कर ले, we have to run from this, go from this prayer and birth and death cycle.
Forget it. First of all, let us understand what do you mean by karma and what do you mean by akarma.
कर्मा means जो हम सकाम कर्म करते हैं with some भौतिक इच्छा, that is karma. And akarma
No,
means
give some
for
examples.
the pleasure of the
Give
Lord.
some examples. Give some examples. What do you mean by karma? What do you mean by akarma? From our day-to-day activities, you can take some examples.
Yeah. देखो अभी हम खाना बनाते हैं as a housewife. I'm cooking. Though I'm cooking for the Lord, but still वहाँ पे मेरा भगवान प्रायोरिटी नहीं होती है, घर के बच्चे प्रति प्रायोरिटी होते हैं. And whatever I think कि ये बनाना है वो बना लिया. Though I have learned कि we have to ask Lord कि आपको क्या खाना है. I had tried also, but कभी ऐसा सूझा नहीं. Then I try. मैं वैसे ही. So this is मेरी सकाम करना. Though I'm doing karma for Lord, but it is सकाम कर्मा.
Understood. Okay, now tell me. What do you mean by akarma? What is from cooking only? You are cooking for your family members. that you are calling it as karma. Then what do you mean by akarma?
Nobody is ready. आज किसी को घर पे खाना नहीं, लेकिन खाली मैं भगवान के लिए खाना बना रही हूँ. I'm making
तो
something for
उसको
the Lord.
बोलते हैं अकर्मा है क्या? तो घर वालों को बाहर भेज दो, घर वालों को बाहर भेज दो, ओनली भगवान को रखो, अभी भगवान और आप बस. There is no more karma.
Because मैंने जो समझा कि हम जब भगवान की संतुष्टि के लिए कोई कर्म करते हैं, that is a karma.
No, okay, fine.
हाँ.
What do you mean by archana? You understand the word archana? Archana means deity worship, we can say
Yeah.
in English.
Yeah.
भगवान को सेवा करना, मतलब अर्चना पद्धति के द्वारा सेवा करना. So what are it include? अर्चना में क्या क्या होता है?
Everything. भगवान की सुबह की मंगला भोग से शाम को जो आरती कर.
हाँ, भगवान को
Everything.
स्नान करना, डेकोरेट करना, और गार्लैंड पहनाना, बनाना एंड पहनाना, और भगवान को भोग लगाना, आरती करना, ये सब अर्चना.
हाँ.
Okay?
Yeah.
Is it akarma or karma? Is
It
archana
is
is
a
akarma
karma,
or karma?
but probably we are doing with the इंद्रिया only. कभी मन तो जाता ही नहीं उसमें. हमको
अभी
इंस्ट्रक्शन
इंद्रिय
घर में
कम से कम
भगवान
इंद्रिय
है.
तो कर रहे हैं ना, कम से कम
हाँ.
इंद्रिय तो कर रहे हैं ना, कुछ तो कर रहे हैं ना. See, not like that.
हाँ.
See, one simple thing. We have to understand that akarma means bhakti. Bhakti means Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Padasevanam, and Atmanivedanam, all these 9 things. So anything in connection to all these 9 things we do as a service to Supreme Lord, that is called akarma and that is called bhakti. So sometimes our heart is there or not there, but even because our Guru Maharaj told the temple to which we are connected, the temple is telling us to follow like this kind of rules and regulations. If we are doing that, still that should be considered as bhakti only.
Okay.
So don't worry so much, don't think too much. I'm doing this not like that. Just follow whatever is being told, and dire dire we start doing spontaneously. Right now we are doing forcefully, and one day it becomes spontaneously. It will happen. No need to analyze too much. But one thing, while doing so, instead of putting one's own priorities in the forefront, put the priorities of authorities in the forefront and continue. That is the only thing. Nothing else.
Okay.
I mean, not cooking is one example, but like that, any other thing.
So अगर हम कुछ बोलते भी नहीं भगवान, जैसे आज
basically in karma there are 2 aspects. One is sakama karma, second one is nishkama karma. Sakama karma is I do something because it is going to benefit me. I take care of my family members because of my requirement. So मेरे लिए जरूरत है family, इसलिए मैं take care कर रहा हूँ. That is one thing. That is called sakama karma. For example, for a wife takes care of the husband because husband takes care of the wife. So there is a mutual expectation. That is called sakama karma.
Okay.
The next one is nishkama karma. Duty bound. Because I am duty bound to serve my family members, I will serve. And उसका फल वो भगवान के इच्छा अनुसार जो भी मिलेगा वो मिलने दो. मेरा ड्यूटी है सेवा करना, परिवार का सेवा करना, समाज का सेवा करना, मैं करता रहूंगा निस्वार्थ भाव से. मतलब नो इमीडिएट so much immediate expectations in it. So you may say that no, निस्वार्थ भाव से हम कैसे कर पाएंगे? I mean, no, they should also take care of us. Yes, just the way you are serving them selflessly, they will also serve you selflessly. If when 2 people are serving each other selflessly, they are automatically taken care by each other.
Yeah.
If 2 people are serving each other selfishly, the selfish service only will go on. Whenever their desires are hampered by other person, there is quarrel. So like that. I'm just giving an example just to help us understand, taking the example of wife and husband.
I'm always confused रहती थी प्रभु जी. I'm doing everything, but
now finally there is akarma. So both of them doing everything selflessly, but they are doing everything as a service to Supreme Lord. Previously they are doing selflessly for parivar. Now they are doing everything selflessly for the Supreme Lord. That is called bhakti.
Thank
Like
you,
a
Prabhuji.
housewife, like a mother who has husband, in-laws, and 4 children, big family, old family, not nowadays family, but old family. So the mother is working day and night, taking care of the family, keeping the home clean and washing the clothes of everyone when there was no washing machines and so many things. She would have morning to evening full hard work, but she is duty bound. She would do everything because she is a chaste wife and she thinks that this is my part of my family. I need to do. I need to take care of everyone. That is called Nishkama Karma Yoga.
Okay.
But if in addition to Parvar, there is Lord also, and Lord is in the forefront, that becomes Bhakti Yoga.
Okay.
Action is same, but now it is
Ah.
directed to Supreme Lord, it becomes Bhakti.
Mhm.
So like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I mean, this is my understanding. You can also speak to our senior devotees and you can get more understanding, but just to help you.
Because
Hare Krishna.
okay.
Any other devotees? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, devotees are there? No questions, sir?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. No question.
Okay, okay. No questions.
Prabhuji, that how the
Ah.
jiva after leaving the body travels, that is also explained very well. And again
Ah.
in rebirth, how it enters the womb and it suffers, that is also explained nicely. That repeated birth death cycle is so horrible, we understand. Still, we are not able to come out of the Maya.
Because we are hearing from one ear and for leaving it from other ear, nothing remains in our heart. That's why we are living bindas. जब तक हम सेवन करते तब तक सीरियस रहते हैं. एक बार क्लास से बाहर आने के बाद अभी वापस वही चलता है. ईश्वरोहम हम भोगी सिद्धोहम बलवान सुखी. I am not telling about you. I am telling about myself. So by the way,
This fact, Prabhuji.
in general, so we hear big things. We speak big things. But as soon as we come out of that particular place, we become normal, as we were old conditioned souls.
Everything is explained in Bhagavatam.
Yes.
And for that, I will tell you one
Bhagavatam.
real story. That one Gujarati guy, he went to America for doing PhD in that Hindu philosophy or something. Then they asked, have you got a master degree, PG degree, or undergraduate degree? He said, I don't have any degree, but I have studied thoroughly Bhagavatam. I am qualified to do that, he said. Then they said, we will give you one entrance exam that you write. He wrote the exam. And they were surprised that all the answers he wrote very well. They will ask anything under the sun in that paper. He wrote all answers correct and 100 marks. They were astonished. Nobody has scored like this up till now like that. Then he got admission. He did that. Really, it happened, I heard. Then again, after some years, his younger brother went and he also did the same thing. He was doing that. I saw some Gujarati devotee. He was telling this. Uska naam bhi kuch bataya. So Bhagavatam, if you study, you get actual jnana. You get in that only. Everything is explained in this. No.
Yes.
But we should study thoroughly and seriously. Then the child is suffering so much in the womb means Mataji is they will not be ready to give birth to child, no? काय को ये जीवा को इतना सताने का like that.
Yeah, one may think like that, but unless until if parents does not give birth to children, how will the conditioned souls will get liberated?
Yes.
Birth is given to children so that they will practice bhakti and go back to Godhead. That was the original purpose of giving birth to a child.
For liberation. To showing the path.
That means the parents are doing a very thankless task. Just like a spiritual master gives initiation to a disciple so that the disciple can practice bhakti seriously and go back home back to Godhead. Similarly, the parents are begetting a child and giving all the good samskaras so that the child can practice bhakti seriously and go back to Godhead. So this comes as a shloka in the 5th canto. Lord Rishabhdeva tells to his sons. Otherwise, one should not be like that. Lord Rishabhdeva says there he is very strict because he is telling to his own sons, na? So he can be very strict also. So like that, he says that if you want to become parents, if you want to become guru, if you want to become friend, if you want to become devata, if you want to become a relative, and so and so. If you are able to deliver that dependent person, then become. Otherwise, don't become. Otherwise, one has no right to become a guru, a parent, a friend, a well-wisher, like that.
Very good. Prabhuji, 4th canto also you will only take, no, for us. The 3rd canto is ending.
First, let us do 3rd canto. 4th canto के बारे में बाद में देखेंगे. So fine. I'm sorry. Today I'm ending little early. So I was also feeling sleepy throughout the class. थोड़ा सा कुछ काम चल रहा है इधर. So we'll continue next week. So hope all of you are celebrating Janmashtami festivals at your local areas after spending, after celebrating in the temple.
Last week, today also celebrating.
So I request all of you to offer some prayers for me wherever you are celebrating Janmashtami and other things. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Dandavat pranam.
Prabhuji, our course is for 6 cantos, na? Prabhuji?
6 cantos.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Bhakti Vaibhav
Okay,
is for 6
Prabhuji.
cantos.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, because of network, I joined little late because I try and then it takes time. So please give me attendance, Prabhuji. Yeah, I'm facing network
Don't worry
issues
about
here.
attendance, but yeah, no problem.
Yes,
You listen and
yes,
you read that section what we call.
yes, Prabhuji. I will I was on vacations, holidays to India, so it became little disturbed,
Oh,
but I will get back to it, everything. Okay,
yes.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much to all the devotees.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mother. Hare Krishna.